Well, hello there. I've missed you. So, Father's Day is this weekend, and you know what that means? Dad jokes. Ooh, ooh. Two of my favorite things, plants and dad jokes. I just plant get enough. Okay. Anyway, so today we're talking about dad jokes. Wait. Cut. Today we're talking about dad plants. And by dad plants, I pretty much just mean man plants, I guess. So this video is to kind of help you gauge what kind of plants might work best for the man in your life who may not have any plants, or maybe sort of indifferent to getting a plant, may like it, may not like it. What I did was I got in touch with some of the guys that are the other half of some of my favorite plantsy ladies and kind of got their opinion as to what plants they like and why. What I'm gonna do with this list is I'm gonna start with the easiest care plants first, and then I'm gonna move to doing the two on the list that are a little more challenging. So the first group of plants on the list, not surprising, are Sansevieria, which also are commonly called snake plants or mother-in-law's tongue. So just as a little fun fact for you, the term mother-in-law's tongue comes from the sharp edges of the plant sneakily cutting you when you least expect it. This plant's throwing some shade. Am I right? These guys are really great. I'm sure a lot of you already know. They're really easy to care for. They can take low light, medium light, full sun if you want. They really thrive on neglect. They like to stay dry. So they really do well if you just put them somewhere and kind of forget about them. Personally, my ones that I have indoor, I water mine about once a month. I do live in the South, so our humidity is quite a bit higher than a lot of places. So, you know, it really just depends on your environment. But again, these are super great. They're gonna be fine almost anywhere you put them. Second on the list is gonna be the ZZ plant. These are really easy. They come in lots of different sizes. They look really cool. I mean, this is just, for an easy to care for plant, I really just think these are super cool. The structure of them, they're just, they're just so, I'm spilling dirt everywhere. They're just really, really easy to care for, and they're a great option for a new plant parent. And they can come in really big sizes too. One thing across the board that the guys mentioned is that they like big plants, and they cannot lie. So there's that. So they prefer larger in size plants because they like the way they look and they're not dainty. One of my favorites is the Dracaena. So there are tons of different kinds of Dracaena, lots of colors. I'm just gonna kind of show you different ones. We have a Florida Beauty here. This is one of my personal favorites. The color is just, it's beautiful. This is a Dracaena Ray of Sunshine, I believe. Yep, Ray of Sunshine. I just really love how bright the leaves are while also being subtle. So this is a normal, just a Dracaena marginata. You can kind of see the difference in the leaves, how this one's more green with a red or a maroon margin on the outside. And this one it really just stands out. Love them both, but this one's really a stunner for me in my book. So this is an Art Carmen Dracaena. It has a yellow margin, really pretty, really easy to care for. All of these guys, very similar to Sansevieria. They won't really care for full direct sun, but they can be in a brighter location or they can handle lower light. I personally have this Dracaena Limelight in a few different spots of my home, one being my bedroom. This is a very big guy. But I have this one in my home in a few different spots, my bedroom having very low light being one of them, and I have a few of them in there, and they do great. Now, don't get me wrong. Something that's in a lower light situation is not going to grow as fast as something that is getting a medium or a bright indirect light, sun intake. So it's just important to remember not to be discouraged. If you happen to live in a home that has really low light, don't be too discouraged. It's okay. They're going to grow. They're just going to grow at a little bit of a slower pace. So the next plant I want to mention are Schefflera. So you're gonna have some Schefflera that are a little more finicky, but these two types that I'm about to mention specifically really do well. Even in my home, they've done well in lower light. So here I have one in a 6-inch container. Again, these are cool because they grow upright, so they get pretty big pretty fast. They have these nice glossy leaves. They're super easy to care for. They can handle neglect a lot better than some other Schefflera. This one is an alpine Schefflera. Very similar to the next one I'm gonna show you, but you can see here your new growth. You know, you have like a branch and then your new growth coming out of that. So the difference, it's just gonna be a little harder to show you guys this, but so right here we have an Amante Schefflera. These are awesome. The difference here is that you'll have a stem and then a bract will come off with your umbrella part of your plant. So you see you have a stem here, if you guys can really even see that. You have a big stem and then your bracts come off. So your other plant doesn't do that. That's really the only difference. If you're wondering what the difference between the two were, this really makes a great statement in a home. The new growth is really cute. It comes in tiny and it just gets bigger. It's just really adorable. So those are really great. Everybody palm down. So this is a parlor palm. These are the easiest palms in my opinion. These do great in low light. They do like to stay slightly damp, but given the fact that they're in low light, it takes them quite a lot longer to dry out. So they really can handle neglect a lot better than other palms. These are going to be a little more bushy in stature than they are tall, but I mean they're absolutely beautiful. Another really good option is an areca palm. Those can handle a lower light situation. They have very pretty yellow stems. I don't have one to show you here as an example, but they're also a really cool option as well. Now we're going to move on to the two that are not so easy. What I'm going to start with is, which I'm sure you guys saw this and knew it was coming, our Fiddle Leaf Fig. So Fiddle Leaf Fig is a ficus. It's a ficus lyrata. They're beautiful. I mean, you'll see them everywhere. A lot of people will grab them up because they're beautiful and they know they're gonna look great in their home. And then, you know, they're beginners and they don't really know what they're doing and it's a very quick decline. These are a little more finicky. They're not beginner plants, but if you get the care down correctly, they really are just a scheduled maintenance situation and they really can handle themselves really great. So I have 4 things that I like to talk about whenever someone's interested in purchasing a Fiddle Leaf Fig. I'll talk about the 4 and then I'll kind of delve individually into the 4. So they like bright light, they like to stay damp, they like a watering schedule, and they do not like to be moved. Lighting is probably the biggest issue I see with Fiddle Leaf Figs. You know, your room across the way, like it looks like it's bright over here, like where my wall decor is over here, it looks like it's bright, but it's really not. So just keep that in mind. Your Fiddle Leaf is gonna like bright light. It's gonna wanna be in your brightest window. And the reason they don't like to be moved is because they don't like lighting changes. They're finicky and they get kind of slapped in the face by lighting changes. You know, I like to say it's kind of like when you're asleep and somebody opens the windows and you're just not ready for it and it's just bright and you're just like, rude. That's kind of what they're going through during their light transitions. So if you bring a fiddle leaf home, find a bright spot for it and don't move it. In addition to that, they like to stay moist. So given the fact that they are getting brighter light than a lot of plants, you want to make sure during the summertime, it may dry out a little quicker. So you may want to water it twice a week or every 5 days instead of every 7 days. So whatever you decide your watering cycle is going to be, you want to set a schedule for your fiddle and you want to stick to it. Now that it's getting a lot warmer, I have noticed that they start to droop quicker than the 7 days. Like at 5 days, they're getting a little droopy. Now I've started watering every 5 days. So you just want to make sure that you have a schedule in place and you stick to it, and you know, you'll avoid a lot of problems that some people run into with Fiddle Leaf Figs. I do have a very in-depth Fiddle Leaf video coming out soon. It's a long one, so it's taken some editing, and I'm clearly still getting used to all of this, so it will be out soon, and it'll really go into more depth about like some issues you may run into with fiddles, and you know, how to combat those as well. Across the board, guys mentioned how much they loved these just because they are such a stunning statement piece, really, or a statement plant, if you will. On that same strain, we have another ficus. Be safe, use a rubber. Ugh, that's not appropriate. The ficus. Another type of ficus. This is commonly called a rubber tree or a rubber plant. It has this dark, shiny foliage. It can handle lots of light. So this is gonna be another one that is not a low light plant. It needs lots of light. It's gonna wanna be in your brightest window, similar to your Fiddle Leaf Fig, which is also in the ficus family. And it'll like to stay damp as well. But these are really cool, and the guys really love them because they're stunning. They have dark foliage. I specifically really love these in a home that has a lot of light colors, because the contrast makes this plant just really pop out and be really, really stunning. Again, they do come in different sizes. Again, they do come in different sizes. Here's a 6-inch. This one will continue to grow, and as it grows, it'll get very similar to the other one that is currently on the floor, spilling dirt everywhere. Sorry. Really, really great. So that is pretty much all that I have as far as plants that the guys that I've talked to have really enjoyed, whether it be because they're easy to care for, or because they're, you know, robust and modern looking, or maybe both. But those were a lot of really good options. Just a few things for you guys. So I'm not gonna be posting new plants this Saturday. Things have been really, really crazy, and I also have a ton of inventory right now. So we're gonna do a 20% off for Father's Day. We're gonna run it through the whole weekend. Or if you're getting a plant as a gift, be sure to type in the notes section, this is a Father's Day gift. I will get those plants out before Sunday for you guys. I'll get them out front so you'll be able to pick them up on Saturday and have them for Sunday for Father's Day. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put a comment down below. And also, let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see. I've been doing some videos, trying to get a little better at it. Any kind of video that you guys would like to see, any sort of information that you would like, go ahead and leave me a comment, send me a message. Let me know what kind of stuff you want to hear about, and we'll get some stuff out for you. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the dads, the plant dads, the moms who have to be dads. Happy Father's Day to all of you, and hope you have a good weekend. GingerSprout out.